To his left to McMahon, back to Hussein, played wide now to Staunton. Barnes is available, Staunton ignores him, plays it infield to Mulby. Mulby forward to Hayden, 25 yards out, forward to Gillespie. Hayden goes to the return, shoots it! A very well worked goal by Liverpool, superbly executed by Ray Houghton, whose birthday is tomorrow. It's his 7th goal of the season, and it puts the cup favourites 1 goal up after just a quarter of an hour. Ray Houghton, the goal scorer.
Barnes plays it towards the area for Houghton and back again to Barnes. Barnes whips the cross in, Rush tries to spin. Oh, yes, a great goal from Ian Rush. Beautiful turn by the goal scorer, who is now the leading goal scorer in the First Division, his 16th of the season.
Tonight's other 3 replays at Plymouth, Rotherham and Swindon are off, so sit back and enjoy commentary from Anfield. It's Liverpool 2, Blackburn 0, Alan Green, Denis Law, and first of all, good evening to Mike Ingham.
Good evening and welcome to the home of Liverpool. 32 minutes gone here, Liverpool leading by those 2 goals that you've heard. Plenty for Blackburn Rovers to do, and what a difference a few days makes, of course. Blackburn Rovers, within seconds of beating Liverpool, of course, last Saturday when we had that own goal from Mark Atkins. And tonight, Liverpool turning on the form here in front of their own supporters, have scored those goals from Ray Houghton, and the man who's chasing now, Ian Rush, inside the area. Kevin Warren hasn't got that away. Rush tries to lay it across. It's still inside the area. Rosenthal chases on that far side, the Liverpool right. Back with Houghton on the edge of the area. Liverpool attacking the Anfield Road end here away to the left. Nicol tries to prod it forward, and Bobby Mims is there. Bobby Mims has then been beaten twice tonight. First time after 15 minutes. Ray Houghton, the man who put across that late cross at Ewood Park on Saturday, which led to the own goal from Atkins. A beautifully orchestrated move from midfield. Houghton played a 1-2 with Gillespie and finished superbly. 1-0 to Liverpool. That gave them the confidence to go forward even more. And then after 23 minutes, John Barnes whipping across from the left-hand side. Ian Rush swivelling and finding the top of the net. Superb strike from the Welshman, Ian Rush, and he's again trying to get the possession for Liverpool down this near side of the field. But Blackburn Rovers at last have got a chance to get hold of it. And Howard Gale, the former Liverpool player, to take it. Well, you just may be able to pick up from our microphones here the sound of Anfield here tonight. It is extremely windy, but then, of course, when hasn't it been over the last few weeks? This one, though, isn't really giving either side a positive advantage. It's swirling around, it's inconsistent, and Liverpool all in red against the team wearing half white and half blue, of course, Blackburn Rovers. Liverpool all in red through the captain, Glenn Hussein, tidying up at the back, defending the Kop here and leading by 2-0 with a little over 10 minutes left of the first half of this 3rd round replay. The ball is with Rosenthal, and he tries to find Mulby behind him on the halfway line, played him into a little bit of trouble. It was a bit tight, but Mulby still coming in for more of the action in midfield. Mulby beautifully picks out Barnes. Barnes stabs it forward, a little early though that time for Rosenthal, and that's gone behind the dead ball line for a Blackburn Rovers goal kick. Well, John Champion was saying everybody should stay at home tonight. One man who hasn't is Denis Law.
And it's a bit cold, Mike, isn't it?
Just a little.
The game is warm, though. Liverpool absolutely superb, the way that they came out. They got off on Saturday, of course, by getting that late equaliser, and Blackburn have paying the penalty for that, because Liverpool have come out. They're going to see that this game is all over in 1 goal. The conditions are bad, but they're knocking the ball along the ground, and they're giving Blackburn are giving Liverpool too much room on both flanks, and Barnes is being superb. Houghton on the right hand side, and that was an absolutely superb goal from Ian Rush, the second goal, and they're just strolling about. Mulby in midfield, so casual, knocking 40, 50-yard balls all the time. Very difficult task for Blackburn. In fact, impossible. Really.
A rare mistake, though, by Liverpool, and Scott Sellers is breaking forward for Blackburn, but in the end, just one too many defenders there again, though it was Ray Houghton helping out the defence from midfield, working so well in both halves, and Liverpool clear quickly downfield, and Rush is on the ball again, waiting for Rosenthal to arrive. Cross from Rush, that's dangerous, and Duxbury helps it away for a corner kick down the Liverpool left, near side of the field. We're sitting high looking down on the halfway line here at a blustery Anfield. Liverpool wanting to take the corner kick short. Barnes finds Staunton, and Staunton gets a crunching challenge from Howard Gale, and that's out of play. It's once again going Liverpool's way, and Steve Staunton, who I should tell you is playing at left back tonight because David Burrows has a virus, so Jan Mulby, who's on the ball now, has come into midfield, and Staunton, such a versatile player, has dropped back to the left full-back position. Liverpool, though, getting constant possession. Once again, it's Houghton probing in midfield, halfway inside the Blackburn half. Liverpool playing from right to left. Houghton's chips. Hussein has gone forward. He went forward initially for the corner, but he's used his hand. And referee Michael Peck from Kendal, the man, of course, who sent off those two players at Ewood Park on Saturday, Glenn Hussein and Kevin Moran, officiating again here this evening. He gives Blackburn Rovers the free kick, and Moran, man I just mentioned, touches it back to Bobby Mims. Blackburn playing exactly the same squad again this evening, the same starting 11 and the same two substitutes. And from that clearance, a chance maybe for Frank Stapleton to wriggle forward for Blackburn down this near side, Blackburn's right. Gale and Stapleton trying to combine, and that was also too tight for them. And neither seemed to want the ball either. In the end, it's gone out of play. Liverpool's throw crushed away by Staunton into the Blackburn half. That runs kindly for Rush. Rush turns beautifully again, plays it into the path of Ray Houghton, 30 yards out. Houghton's first touch, not good, but now he has got it under control. Houghton trying to pull it back for Ronnie Rosenthal. It might fall for Molby, and Molby was just checked there by Nicky Reid in midfield, having another good game competitively in midfield, Nicky Reid, and it's back inside the centre circle for Liverpool. And there's a challenge there from Reid against McMahon that Michael Peck doesn't like, and Liverpool have the free kick, and they scoop it straight away from Molby to Steve Nicol, getting quite a bit of room down that far side of the field. Nicol comes forward, halfway inside the Blackburn half, looks for Rush in the area. Rush again trying to turn around David May. May gets it away, but only as far as Nicol, down that Liverpool right again. Constant pressure coming in here from Liverpool. They lead 2-0. Another ball coming in from Nicol. Blackburn at full stretch trying to deal with this one. And now a chance for Howard Gale to get some sort of a clearance. Hits the ball some 5 yards into the Liverpool half, but Gillespie timed that one beautifully and trades passes with Staunton and then makes room for himself and looks to clear for Liverpool. Up towards Rosenthal. Rosenthal fortuitously lays that off to Houghton. Houghton's being squeezed by Scott Sellers and can't get hold of it this time, and there's a chance for the unfortunate Mark Atkins. What on earth must he be thinking now? The man, of course, who scored that own goal when Blackburn were almost there, and now Liverpool lead 2-0 in the replay, and Blackburn are running into trouble. Well, Scott Sellers has won a free kick against Gary Gillespie there, though to be fair, he never really seemed to have the ball under control, and Gillespie looks a little bit annoyed by that, but Blackburn have a chance here with a free kick. And I mentioned that Dennis was here. Thousands have come along as well to the game, including thousands from Blackburn, watching now from the free kick. Blackburn Rovers trying to combine. Reid squares that ball. Hussein was waiting for it, though. He didn't really get it away, and still Blackburn press. David May, with the fair hair, who'd gone forward for that free kick, is now down the left wing over on the far side. Tries to find Stapleton. Stapleton close to the corner flag. Good play by Stapleton for John Miller on the edge of the area. It's still a bit tight for Blackburn, so gives it back to May, level with the edge of the Liverpool area. May's cross, easily headed away by Staunton, but this is about the best period of play so far from Blackburn Rovers, trying to get back into this game as Reid thumps that high into the cop, and the whistle's gone anyway on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. That's their free kick.
It was a good spell by Blackburn, and the player who played particularly well on Saturday, Sellers, has started to come into the game, and you feel that if they are going to try and get anything from this game, then they've got to try and get a hold of midfield and knock the ball. And instead of, we've seen 2 or 3 times already that they've been trying too many passes instead of getting the ball into the box, because in this wind, I mean, anything can happen. It is a swirling wind, and you never know what happens when the ball goes into the box.
Well, Rosenthal did ever so well then to keep the ball in somehow down this near side, and he charged forward, did Rosenthal, but in the end he carried the ball over the line, and that's going to be a Blackburn Rovers goal kick. Bobby Mims, of course, no stranger to this city. Played many times for Everton and played in the 1986 Cup final against Liverpool when Ian Rush beat him a couple of times on that occasion as well. And Rush has scored here one of the 2 Liverpool goals this evening. Liverpool leading by 2-0 and on their way, it seems, almost inevitably to the 4th round and a fixture at home to Brighton. Unless Blackburn can get their game together, particularly in the second half. Shocked by those 2 goals inside 23 minutes. They've come back quite well in the last 5 minutes or so. And Liverpool again from McMahon, find Nicol, lovely control from Nicol, half an interception from Sellers, but it still spins Liverpool's way. Houghton's cross and a diving header from Duxbury, but straight back to Nicol it goes again on that right hand side. He's had just about as much possession as anyone in his first half, Nicol. This time though, Liverpool lose their way, and all Blackburn can do is just whack that one right from the back into the Liverpool half. Only Simon Garner up there, and he's closely attended by Glenn Hussein, and Hussein avoids giving it to Grobbelaar and finds his fellow central defender Gillespie, and Liverpool, using all the back 4, eventually pick up Barnes just down below us, but Barnes has to part with that one quickly because Duxbury was in for Blackburn Rovers. Liverpool on the halfway line. Rush forward. Oh, that's just too far in front of Rosenthal, but not very far, actually. That could have been dangerous. Blackburn were a bit square there, and it's gone through again to Bobby Mims.
And there's nothing worse in professional football when you're playing against a team like Liverpool, the way that they are playing tonight. You're running here, you're running there, you're running everywhere, and they seem to have 2 extra men. They're knocking the ball about so well. Very difficult.
Blackburn have another chance. Scott Sellers, and that was from the edge of the area. Little floater. Useful, I suppose, in these conditions, because you can get a lot of wind assistance, but that time it's just gone wide of Grobbelaar's goal. And Grobbelaar to take the kick from the right. I noticed down there, Dennis, John Barnes is wearing gloves. He's no fool, is he?
Yes, well, it's a bit cold. It's a bit cold up here. I suppose it's the same, but I mean, he's running about. He should be warm. And the way that he's playing particularly, Liverpool, they're knocking the ball about so well, aren't they? There's so many men to pass to, and every time they attack, they look so dangerous. They always look as though... I'm sure tonight there's got to be more goals in the game, and they look likely to score every time they go up.
Well, they've got a free kick now, 10 yards inside the Rovers half. Molby takes it. Duxbury, the former Manchester United player, hasn't got that one away. Rush tried a shot from 20 yards, didn't really connect that time, and that has just gone safely from Blackburn Rovers' point of view, wide of Bobby Mims' goal. All of those Rovers fans who've made the comparatively short journey from Ewood Park are behind Mims's goal, looking downfield at the Kop and wondering whether their side in these last couple of minutes of the first half can penetrate Grobbelaar's goal. It's still inside the Blackburn half, though, and Kevin Moran, under a bit of pressure, gives it to Sellers, gets it back again, and the whistle's gone from Michael Peck, and he's going to want words here, not for the first time this evening, I think, with Steve McMahon, who was involved there, a little bit of argy-bargy. McMahon's been pulled over, and Michael Peck reads the riot act, and I rather feel it's going to produce a card. I'm sure it will be yellow. And what was that for, Dennis? Did you see?
No, I didn't see red. No, I didn't see red. Definitely a yellow card.
Well, the card still hasn't been produced yet. McMahon has got his hands on his hips. Now he receives the yellow card. Not exactly for the first time in his career. And that's a free kick to Blackburn Rovers. Although the referee's also speaking to Nicky Reid. And the free kick is to be taken by David May. Back inside the Blackburn half, inside the centre circle, there's a lot of waste paper comes blowing across. It's blowing across towards us, swirling around as the free kick holds up. Stapleton tries to get his very useful head to the ball in that area. Liverpool clatter it away, and then there's a foul on the edge of the area on John Miller, the former Chelsea player. And Blackburn Rovers, with a minute and a half left of the first half, have got a free kick no more than a yard outside the penalty area. And what can they produce from this? Well, they've got 3 or 4 players around the ball at the moment, including Mark Atkins, the man who would dearly love to score at the right end here this evening to pull and haul Blackburn back into this game. It's Liverpool 2, Blackburn 0, but the most anxious moment so far for Bruce Grobbelaar in this half as they try to steady the ball in now gale-force conditions here. The free kick for Blackburn Rovers on the edge of the area. It's set up for Atkins, and Atkins drives it straight into the Liverpool wall, and it comes out to Miller again on the left-hand side. Miller trying to run straight through Ian Rush. Liverpool tidy up, and the ball is back inside the centre circle with one of 5 players in this Rovers team to have played in an FA Cup final, Mike Duxbury. It goes all the way through to Bruce Grobbelaar.
Well, it was a good opportunity for Blackburn there, and Liverpool felt worried enough to pull everybody back into the penalty area, but the wall stood firm, and that's the right wall, and of course it hit it. And but you would feel that in these conditions, and Blackburn, there's only seconds left in this first half, was to have a pop-up goal like Sellers did earlier on.
Last seconds of the first half then, Liverpool trying to build on a 2-0 lead. It's with Ronnie Rosenthal jinking his way forward. Steps over the ball, Barnes with a left-footed chip, headed in by Ian Rush, diving across in front of the defender, just wide in the end of Mims' goal as well. But Ian Rush has got the hunger now this evening, having scored once already, 16 for the season. Liverpool lead 2-0, and now I see horrific rain falling to splatter the crowd down there, swirling. Even though they're under cover, they're going to get that rain because the wind is swirling it around into the supporters' faces. And Bobby Mims now to take this goal kick as we go into added time in the first half, and we really only have had 1 team in it so far in the opening 45 minutes. Ray Houghton 15 minutes, Ian Rush 23 minutes, Liverpool 2, Blackburn 0. All this of course after the drama at Ewood Park on Saturday. That's the half-time score now. Liverpool 2, Blackburn 0, as the supporters, most of them immediately get up and hurry off to try and get a warm drink inside them. But Dennis, Blackburn will be kicking themselves, I think, because they're bound still to be thinking about what happened last Saturday.
I'm sure you're right, Mike. They were so near, and it seemed so cruel that they should come here after leading at Blackburn on that own goal, and it more or less hit Atkins in the foot and went into the net. Very difficult, of course, coming to Anfield at the best of times, but Liverpool had got the break on Saturday. They've come here. They certainly, the way that they came out, they weren't going to let Blackburn off the hook. They went about it. They played superbly well. The conditions are atrocious, as we all know. The wind is swirling about, but they've knocked the ball along the ground. They've created space on both flanks. They've knocked the ball into the penalty area. Rush looks very hungry indeed, and of course they got the goal, and then second goal, and then from then on they've been knocking it about, and you just wonder what condition Liverpool will feel in the second half. But I think that they'll go for more goals, and with this win you never know. But they are playing extremely well, and Blackburn have got, I would feel, an impossible task to come back into. But you never know. I mean, they might get a goal, and then of course it is all back in the pod. But I feel that.
But I think coming here tonight, there was almost an air of inevitability about what was going to happen. I mean, lightning very rarely strikes in the same place twice with Liverpool. I mean, you have to take that first chance, don't you? You've
got to do, and they were so unlucky, weren't they? But right enough, they're coming here to Anfield. It's very difficult for the best teams in the world to come here and do well. And you think Blackburn, who played so well on Saturday, struggling in the second division, come here, been so near, and yet the way that they've played on Saturday superbly. Tonight they're outclassed, aren't they?
Just one final word, I think, though. As much as we talk about this air of inevitability, the game still had to be won, and it's pretty appalling, atrocious conditions down there now, so we must give credit to Liverpool for getting the goals that they require.
Oh, superb. I mean, the way that they've knocked the ball about, and they've created, the awful expression, they've created space, but they have done. And Blackburn, you could say, hey, they've not defended well. They've given far too much room on the right-hand side, and Barnes on this side at times, and Mulvey's knocked the ball of 40, 50-yard balls to Barnes completely on his own, so they are making the space there, and that is dangerous. You cannot allow players of Liverpool's class to have that amount of room in that area.
Okay. Dennis, I've seen some astonishing games with you over the years. We're going to see a stunning second half here, I think, though, aren't we? Because Blackburn Rovers are going to come out in the second half and score at least 3 times, so we look forward to you rejoining us in just a few moments from now.
Tommy, impressions of the first half? Quite comfortable for Liverpool so far?
Well, yes. I mean, it's a bad wind out there, bitterly cold night, but Liverpool have taken the game to Blackburn. I think Blackburn had their chances on Saturday, and when I say blew it, I don't think so much blew it as Liverpool fought on to the last minute and they finally got the equaliser. But tonight Liverpool have definitely taken over. They possibly could have been more than 2-up.
The Cup really gives you a second chance, does it?
Well, it all depends. I mean, Liverpool's got a second chance purely on Saturday and getting the goal at the last minute. Blackburn had enough chances on Saturday. I mean, they were the home side. They took the game to Liverpool. Liverpool responded. But when it's all said and done, it's the FA Cup and things happen in the Cup. That's just, unbelievable.
Teams coming out.
And you must begin to think, having escaped that maybe Liverpool's name is on the Cup this year.
Well, yeah, but you've got 16 other people saying that as well. I mean, you've got the likes of, West Brom getting beat. I mean, Woking possibly might be saying their names on it, but I doubt it very much. But yeah, I mean, Liverpool are one of the better sides, and you've got to say they've got a chance, especially a home game. And I mean, if we beat Blackburn tonight, which we're 2-up now, and I can't see us losing a game, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed. We've got Brighton, who gave us a bit of a fright a few years back. I mean, they did beat us here, but I don't think lightning strikes twice.
Finally and briefly, more goals second half?
I think so, purely because Liverpool are on top and they are creating chances. It's not as if they're sitting back now. Blackburn are trying to take the game to Liverpool, and Liverpool are responding,
Tommy, thanks very much. Second half about to start. Your commentary team, Mike Ingham, Denis Law, and first of all, Alan Green.
Yes, the referee, Michael Peck, waiting for the signals from his 2 linesmen to get this second half underway. Rovers will be playing from right to left with a small mountain to climb. 2-0 down at half-time. Goals for Liverpool from Ray Houghton after a quarter of an hour, Ian Rush after 23 minutes. The ball is immediately back with Bobby Mims, whose penalty area in this second half is just in front of the Kop, away to our right. It's a long wind-assisted clearance from him, and Rovers, playing towards their body of fans away to the left, need some encouragement, and they need it early. They're trying to force Liverpool onto the defensive in these early minutes of the second half. They've won a throw-in on the stage side of the field. Atkins takes it down to the feet of Sellers. Sellers runs straight into McMahon, and McMahon can bring it clear for Liverpool. Slides the ball forward towards Ian Rush. Moran goes across. Rush just holds him off, looks for support, plays it back infield towards McMahon, but it was deflected away from him by Sellers, and it's with Mickey Reid now. Reid moves forward, gives the ball to the former Liverpool player, Gale. Back it goes to Duxbury, and flick forward. Chance here just on the edge of the box for Garner. Nicol with the interception, hits it high into the crowd, and with just a minute gone in the second half, Rovers have the encouragement of a corner. Garner quickly retrieves the ball from behind Grobbelaar's goal, whacks it away to the far side, and John Miller will take this corner. It's from the Rovers left. He's going to hit it. It's from the Rovers right, rather. He's going to hit it left-footed. So with that fierce wind behind, it should be curling in towards Grobbelaar. This is very, very awkward for the goalkeeper. It's awkward enough for Miller to tee the ball up inside the quadrant. Here he comes now. Hits it left-footed, not very well. Mulby half clears it. Sellers could pick it up midway inside the Liverpool half. Forward it goes to Simon Garner down the Rovers left. Good deep cross, hangs in the air, and Grobbelaar gathers with some difficulty, Dennis.
Well, yes, and it was nice to hear the Blackburn Rovers having something to cheer about, because there seemed to be a terrible mix-up with Hussein and Grobbelaar there just prior to that corner, where the nickel just managed to get a foot to it, went over the crossbar, and in this wind, Alan, you know, you never know. Get that ball into the box because it hangs about. You never know what could happen.
Here's Garner, forward to Sellers. Stapleton's available down the Rovers left. Plenty of room. Forward it goes to Atkins. Cross to the near post, and Grobbelaar dives forward and gathers it before Gale can get there.
Well, a good move by Blackburn, but you just felt that when Stapleton knocked the ball to Atkins there, that he could have taken it further in. It was not a Liverpool player 10 yards from him. He could have really gone into the penalty area and tried to pick out a Blackburn player.
Let me run down the two lineups for tonight, or I will do in just a moment, because Rush is attacking for Liverpool, trying to take on Moran on the outside, and Moran seemed to pull him down. He did. It was a collision like Saturday's. I think Moran was deliberately brought him down there, but it wasn't close enough to goal to warrant even a booking in the mind of Mr. Peck, unlike Saturday.
The referee, Mr. Peck, did extremely well there to just give the foul.
It will be, nevertheless, a free kick to Liverpool.
And Mike here has just poured a cup of tea over me. Thank you very much, Mike. That's very kind of you.
Most considerate of Mike Ingham to pour tea down Denis Law. The bill for his coat, his very flash coat, will be sent to you, Mike, in the post. Free kick to Liverpool then, just outside the Rovers penalty area. Staunton swings it in, headed away by the blonde-haired figure of May. Picked up by Mulby, he shoots, and Mims, diving to his right, gathers that with considerable difficulty.
But he held it well, didn't he? And he had a superb game on Saturday, but the conditions were equally as bad, and he held everything there. That was a good save.
Better get these teams out quickly, or I might not get a chance. It certainly started very well this second half. Still can't give it to him, because a shot comes in from Stapleton. It's deflected away by Gillespie. Should be picked up on this near side by Sellers. He lets the ball go out of play, takes a throw in quickly. Atkins, forward it goes to Miller. Oh, half mistake by May, but he gets away with it. Here's Miller again, midway inside the Liverpool half. Turns to the left of Staunton. Sellers wants it. It goes instead to Garner. It wasn't a good pass, and that one should go out of play, and it will be a throw in to Liverpool, deep inside their own half. Quickly, the two teams. Rovers unchanged from Saturday. They've got Mims in goal, a back four from right to left of Duxbury, Moran, May and Atkins. In midfield, Gale, Reid, Miller and Sellers. Up front, Stapleton and Garner. Liverpool with one enforced change. That's because Burrows, the left full-back, has a virus, so Mulby comes into the side, he goes into midfield, and Staunton moves to the left-back position, which is his natural spot. So it's Grobbelaar in goal, a back four for Liverpool, Nicol, Hussein, Gillespie and Staunton. In midfield, Houghton, Mulby, McMahon and Barnes. Up front, Rush and Rosenthal. We played 5 minutes in the second half. Liverpool lead 2-0, and Ingham's cleared up the mess that he made with a cup of tea. I don't blame him, actually, because there's a fierce wind out there, and we're feeling a fair draft up in our position, our sort of eagle's ear. He's slung beneath the roof of the main stand here at Anfield. A wonderful commentary position. Everything is so obvious for us up here, apart from the craft of some of Liverpool's play, which bemuses everyone, particularly the opposition. Here's Rosenthal on the far side for Liverpool. Infield to Barnes with a natty pair of black gloves on tonight. He's declined to wear the tights. It's cold enough for Barnes to have worn tights this evening so far, and obviously he's not going to pull them on during the second half, Dennis. He's not wearing them tonight. Here Rovers bring it clear. Gale, midway inside the Liverpool half. He tried to play the ball to his right. It wasn't a good pass towards Reid, and Grobbelaar has it away to our left. Grobbelaar comes out swirling paper crisp packets and balloons and all sorts of supermarket plastic bags. It's not very nice out there. The rain is relenting just a little bit, but the wind will keep everyone cold. May for Rovers, got a good pass forward, picked up by Nicol. Forward it goes to Barnes, just to the left of the centre circle, and Barnes plays it to the far side. I've just noticed actually that Ablett has come on as a substitute for Liverpool. I didn't spot that, and I'm glad you said that, Dennis. Nobody did. And Steve, Staunton hasn't reappeared. Staunton has moved to right back. It'll take us just a minute to sort of work out exactly what's happened here. Ray Houghton, it appears, who scored the opening goal for Liverpool after a quarter of an hour, hasn't reappeared at the start of the second half, and we all managed to miss that. So Houghton is off. There's a reorganisation for Liverpool. Staunton has moved to right back. Staunton has moved into midfield, rather, and Ablett has gone to left back for Liverpool. But having to defend a free kick now, which is a good 30 yards out, on the right-hand side as Rovers look at it. Rosenthal will get up very gingerly. He was involved in the challenge. It was an unfair challenge, according to Michael Peck. And Atkins, he drove a free kick towards the end of the first half. It was met by a red wall and deflected to safety as far as Liverpool were concerned. Well, he could well have another pop from this distance. He's got the wind behind, and poor Mark Atkins, you really do wish something would go for him. He doesn't take this free kick. It's hit instead by Sellers, left-footed. Played in by Sellers again as he got the deflection. This time it's knocked away by Staunton. Atkins chips it forward, and that one's wide of goal and behind for a goal kick. Now, I can't give you an explanation. What's your explanation for missing the substitution?
Well, the only thing I could possibly think is that he got a knock, didn't he? And we did miss it because, mind you, Blackburn have come out the second half, and I'm sure Mackay has said to his players, listen, all right, you're down 2-0. We should have probably done it on Saturday, but go out and enjoy the game. And you know, you're 2 down. It's going to be very difficult. But the only way you're going to try and get back into the game is to go at Liverpool. And you feel in the second half it's been a far better game, hasn't it, both sides, than it was in the first half, because Blackburn have come out and tried to do something.
8 minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool still lead by 2-0. They attack down the Rovers' left flank, and Rush forces May to concede a throw-in, no more than a few yards away from the corner flag, deep inside the Rovers' half. Staunton will take it. Rush makes himself available. It's thrown to Rush. Out it goes to Staunton again. He wants it on his left foot, turns it onto his left foot. The linesman on the far side is trying to fly, presumably for offside against Rush, and it is finally seen by the referee, and it will be a free kick to Blackburn Rovers. Absolute mess of rubbish just in front of Mark Atkins as he takes this free kick. And it's curled out by the courtesy of the wind, out of play, and that will be a throw into Liverpool on the halfway line. Near side there, right. Nicol throws, and it's flicked neatly infield by Rush from McMahon. McMahon tries to play it to the far side to Ablett, but that one's far too far forward of the Liverpool left back, and Rovers can bring it clear. Duxbury to Miller. Out to Duxbury again on the far side, Rovers right. Forward it goes to Gale, short of the halfway line. Infield to Miller. Gale was caught in the challenge, and if that was McMahon, he is in deep trouble. He was booked in the first half. Michael Peck is reaching for the red card, and Steve McMahon has been sent off at Anfield. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Hussein and Moran went on Saturday in the first game at Ewood Park, and McMahon now makes it 3 players sent off in this FA Cup third round tie. He didn't argue with Michael Peck. He knew as soon as the referee reached for the card what the decision was, and McMahon comes off. Liverpool are down to 10 men, and Rovers might yet have a say in who goes into the 4th round.
Well, you never know, but as soon as the foul had committed, because it certainly was a foul, you could see Peck from the distance of something like 20 yards go straight to his top pocket, and as we all know, McMahon had already been booked, so therefore he had to go. I don't think he argued about it whatsoever. It's very difficult to say from up here because it sort of was behind us, but it looked a foul, and therefore if it was, then he had to go.
Oh, well. We've still got 35 minutes left for play. Gale is still receiving attention from the Rovers physio. And it's maybe not the sort of encouragement that Rovers would have wished for, but it does give them a man advantage. But how often in the past, Dennis, have we seen teams unable to use that extra man advantage?
It is extraordinary, isn't it? You sometimes feel at times as well that the 10 men play better because they've all got to fight for each other much more, and they're chasing, and obviously they've got to pull somebody back. And how many times have we seen the 10 men do the business? But if Blackburn had to have something to have a hope of getting back in the game, then they would say, we'll take one of the Liverpool players out.
Hard Gale getting roundly booed by the Liverpool fans. They forget that he once played in a European Cup semi-final for them.
Well, he is going to get some stick, isn't he, obviously.
Play is underway. Free kick is taken by Rovers. Sellers chips it forward. Stapleton down the Rovers left. Gets the cross in low. May with a half chance. Gillespie made the interception. Mulby back to Hussein, who chips it forward towards the halfway line. Rush heads it on. You can see Rosenthal dropping back into midfield now, and Rush being left as a lone figure up front, as he has been in many games for Liverpool this season, but that was out of choice in terms of tactics. Now Liverpool will face a little bit of pressure, certainly over the next few minutes, until they reorganise themselves. They've had to make a change at half-time with the substitution of Heitman, and now down to 10 men. Rush for Liverpool is beaten by May. Ball is played forward to Sellers, but the referee spotted an infringement on the far side anyway. The noise of the crowd meant that we couldn't hear the whistle. It's a free kick to Liverpool. 12 minutes gone in the second half. Liverpool 2, Blackburn Rovers 0. Liverpool 10 men, Rovers 11. The free kick is drilled by Ablett towards Rosenthal. He couldn't take it on his chest, it's out of play, and it's a throw into Rovers. Listen to the jeers from the Liverpool fans. To Gale. I didn't need to tell you Gale at the ball. Crescendo of boos from the Liverpool fans. Here's Gale again. Boos go up. Gale runs forward. That's a good run by the former Liverpool player. And it goes to Reid on the far side. He plays the cross in low, edge of the penalty area, but neither Sellers nor Atkins could meet it. It split the distance between them, and it ran out of play in this near side of the field. It will be a throw into Liverpool. Nicol to Barnes. Back to Nicol. He hoofs it long. Moran will chase it. Moran should gather that one easily. Midway inside his own half, and the Rovers fans away to our left chant hard Gale, hard Gale, hard Gale. They could do with a goal from him. Long clearance from Moran, headed on by Stapleton, but carried by the wind out of play, and it will be a throw-in to Liverpool. Couple of yards from the corner flag, deep inside their own half. Steve Nicol will take it. Nicol throws high. Staunton tries to head it on. Atkins headed it out of play once more. Liverpool have gained about 20 yards. Official attendance, by the way, this evening at Anfield on what is a thoroughly nasty evening, I should tell you. 34,175. Very healthy crowd at the home of the league champions. Rosenthal heads the ball into the air. Gale flicks it on for Rovers though. Nicol turns and gives it back to Grobbelaar. Grobbelaar throws it out to the far side to Gary Ablett. Ablett slides it down the Liverpool left. There's Rosenthal, midway inside the Rovers half, running towards the penalty area. He wants to take on Duxbury. Duxbury had all the experience required, waited to make his challenge and made it a decisive challenge, and Rovers can bring it clear. Then Moran gives it away. That was a dreadful pass from the Irish international. Straight to Nicol. Chip towards Rosenthal on the far side. He tried to head it back into the path of Ablett, headed it onto the chest of Gale, and it went out of play for a throw into Liverpool. 14 minutes gone in the second half. Still Liverpool lead by 2-0. Ball is back with Gillespie. 10 yards, 15 yards inside the Rovers half. Gives it to Mulby. Mulby drills it to his near side. Wonderful pass. Nicol just outside the penalty area. Plays it low. May intercepts and will knock the ball out of play. That was a glorious pass from Jan Mulby.
Superb pass, and you really wonder why Mulby is not in the team on a regular basis, isn't it? Because he's more or less strolled through it. He's such a beautiful passer of the ball.
Staunton for Liverpool from the throw and forward to Nicol inside the area, plays it low across goal, and that's hit high into the crowd by Duxbury. And Duxbury, I wonder if he had a half second to think there what Atkins went through on Saturday. He was that close to goal, he could so easily have turned it into his own net. Concedes the corner though. Staunton in front of the Kop. Hits it left-footed, in-swinging corner, and it's missed by the Rovers defenders. Rosenthal with a half chance, back to goal, tried to slip it back for someone to have a shot. It went well out of the penalty area, but Mulby forward to Rush, and Rush couldn't get there because May directed the ball back safely to Bobby Mims.
Well, I suppose you could call it being very unselfish when Nicol went into the Blackburn penalty area and tried to pick out, I think it was Rosenthal on the far post, but I could assure you, if I had been in that similar position, it would have been, the last thing in my mind would have been to pass the ball. I'd have been having to go for net.
Here is an infringement on the halfway.
I'd have probably missed, but still.
I was thinking that, Dennis, I didn't have the nerve to say. Free kick to Liverpool on the halfway line, slightly to the left of the D. You didn't miss many.
Well, not from that distance. I mean, that was just my distance, about 6 yards, wasn't it? That was a long shot for me.
Mulby will take the free kick eventually, but he sort of has to tee up the ball as if he's taking a kick in rugby union. Finally, the free kick is taken. Ablett has it on the far side. It's chipped towards Rosenthal, edge of the area. May should clear it. The half-volley clearance is not a particularly good one, but Rovers do well defensively. Coming up to 17 minutes gone in the second half in this FA Cup third round replay at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Blackburn Rovers 0, but Liverpool down to 10 men. Steve McMahon having been sent off 10 minutes into this second half for a second bookable offence. Mims with a long clearance for Rovers. Wind assisted, finds Gillespie to Rosenthal. Back it goes to Hussein and Gillespie, and it goes to Grobbelaar. And Liverpool, I think, will make sure over the next few minutes they just keep possession, settle things down.
They'll try and calm it down, yes, and as you say, keep possession. If any team in the Football League can keep possession, then that is Liverpool. That's what they'll obviously try and do.
It's strange, though, when you think that midway through that first half when Rush got the second goal and Liverpool were so much in command, we were thinking, well, just how many goals are they going to score tonight? It looks a different game now. Hard Gale for Rovers, gets booed every time he gets the ball, but he does well. Miller forward to Stapleton, Miller again, ball breaks to Nicky Reid. Reid out to this near side to Atkins, forward to Garner. Garner wasn't really anticipating the pass, couldn't collect it, and the ball goes out of play, and it's a throw into Liverpool. Nicol will take it down to the feet of Barnes, who's gone very deep in this second half. Turns away from Miller, forward to Rush. Barnes again, running towards the halfway line. Could only deflect the ball to May. There's Stapleton for Rovers, runs into trouble, and Gillespie should collect possession midway inside his own half. Plays it to the far side to Ablett. You can see how strong that wind is as the Liverpool players move forward. They're almost buffeted. Now here's Rosenthal. Back to Barnes, just 10 yards inside Rovers territory. Forward it goes to Staunton, and Staunton trying to move out to the far side, runs into trouble. Rovers bring it clear. Miller to Sellers inside the centre circle. Good tackling back by Rush. Here's Hussein for Liverpool. Nicol still inside his own half, spreads it 20 yards to his left to Gillespie. Forward it goes to Rosenthal. Control lets him down. Duxbury plays it forward to, I don't need to say, Gale. Midway inside the Liverpool half, his cross towards Garner was hit far too firmly, and it runs away with the wind behind it, out of play, behind Grobbelaar's goal for a goal kick.
And you have a certain amount of sympathy for Gale, because he wasn't the one who committed the foul, of course, and he's the one who's getting the booze. But there has been a lot of chit-chatting, particularly in the first half, because we were right above it here with McMahon and Gale, so you don't know what's really happened. We know that it was a foul eventually, but there's been a lot of talk between the two of them.
Yet when you think of the two sending off offences on Saturday, neither of them were particularly violent.
Oh, certainly not.
Certainly not Mourns. Here's Ablett for Liverpool. Hits a long pass. Mistake by May. Rush just outside the penalty area. Faced by Mourne and May. Liverpool fans playing for a handball against either of the central defenders and don't get it. The ball is back with Bobby Mims. Mims throws the ball out to Sellers. Lovely layoff by Sellers to Atkins near side. Rovers left. He slides it down the Rovers left, but there's Nicol to tidy up for Liverpool. 25 yards from his own goal. He plays it back, and Grobbelaar will be in no hurry to make this clearance. 20 minutes gone in the second half, and the cup favourites 2 goals up, but in a little bit of difficulty here, down to 10 men.
But Blackburn haven't utilised that, have they? I mean, we've seen in the last 5 minutes 2 or 3 times when they've stretched the Liverpool defence, but their sort of final ball, they've not allowed a Liverpool player to come in and then pass it. They've passed it, and it's more or less been cut out all the time.
All that seems to have happened is that Rush is a little bit more isolated up front.
Yes.
Here's Molby for Liverpool, but the referee has stopped play for a foul by Ablett on the far side of the field. Was that on Gale again?
I think it was.
Oh, well. What Gale really wants to do
he can't win, can he?
No, he can't win. I feel sorry for players in that situation. I really do. Relatively innocent parties, whatever's been said between the players, he didn't commit the foul. Moran will take the free kick for Rovers when the wind allows the ball to settle. Moran comes forward. The ball was rolling there. Hits it right-footed towards Stapleton. Comes off the head of Hussein. Goes up high into the air. Gale is there for Rovers, but to the delight of Liverpool fans, he gives the ball straight to Rosenthal, and Rosenthal, safety first, gives it back to Grobbelaar. Grobbelaar away to the left of his penalty area, moves forward a couple of yards and then clears right-footed. Gets good distance considering that was into the wind, but only finds the head of Miller, who directs it to the near side to Sellers. Sellers is tackled well by Staunton. Staunton persists and then surely fouled Sellers. Well, I could see that one. The referee didn't blow until he finally blows, and he gives the decision Rovers' way.
I think Staunton was very lucky to get away with that, wasn't he?
That wasn't a tackle.
We were right above it. He just completely took Sellers' legs away from him, and the referee just gave a foul.
Staunton, who was booked at Ewood Park on Saturday. Here's Gale for Rovers, back to Duxbury. 15-20 yards inside his own half. He doesn't like the sight of Mulby coming towards him, and he gives it back to Bobby Mims. Bobby Mims waits while Rovers players move upfield, and then he clears right-footed straight to Gillespie, who tries to direct it to Rosenthal. Duxbury knocks it forward to Gale. Gale couldn't control it. Liverpool clear once more, but only rushes inside the Blackburn Rovers half. Moran can collect with plenty of time and room, and he plays it to his fellow centre-back, May. Here's Miller. Miller turns away from Barnes, moves towards the halfway line, gives it back to Moran. We've reached the midway point of what has been a very interesting second half here at Anfield. The scoreline, as it was at half-time, 2-0 to Liverpool, but Liverpool down to 10 men. Are they going through to the fourth round, or have Rovers got some say left? Mike Ingham.
Well, I have to say that Liverpool certainly exploited the conditions better than Rovers in the first half. With the wind assistance that they had, they scored those 2 goals, and Blackburn haven't really been able to use Dennis's word, utilise it. But Liverpool down to 10 men, and a little glimmer for Blackburn, but Liverpool play the ball into the Rovers half, and Rosenthal, he's sandwiched between 2 midfield players, but his balance saw him through, and Liverpool are back where they started again. John Barnes, it's about 15 yards inside the Blackburn half. Good ball now for Staunton. Staunton down that left-hand side, lays it back to Barnes. Barnes is taking on Miller and gives it back again to Staunton. Staunton dragging the ball under control and now drifting in field. Liverpool just happy to keep the ball, and then Mulby slants it to the near side. Nicol takes it on the kneecap, goes back inside his own half, and then gives Hussein a touch, his captain. Long ball from Hussein. Jan Mulby stolen forward, but David May is there. Didn't need to touch it, David May, and it comes through to Bobby Mims.
I was just going to say, Mike, I don't think it was the type of ball that Mulby would get.
Clearance downfield by Bobby Mims, misses everybody. You know, it seems that virtually every game we see these days is affected by the wind. What's going on?
The weather's awful, Mike. And I tell you one thing as well that I'm not miss out on next time. You two have got gloves on. My hands are absolutely freezing.
I can also confirm that as Alan Green donates his only one glove. Oh, there you are. 50% donation from Alan. I can tell you that the wind is certainly blowing from right to left as well, because when my teacup fell all over Dennis, it tilted from the right to the left. And now Blackburn Rovers have the possession on the halfway line. Scott Sellers, that's not a bad ball to Duxbury, just short of the halfway line. Number 3 playing it right back. Duxbury tried to find Howard Gale, but, well, I think the wind took that away from Gale, and Liverpool tidying up. Gillespie and Mulby. And Mulby's almost blown over there by the wind. In the end, he decides to go back to Bruce Grobbelaar, who very accurately finds Steve Nicol down this near side. Nicol's chip. Good running from Rosenthal. All on his own, though, close to the corner flag. Rosenthal trying to turn, and he does that as well. Rush, little acceleration from him. Runs straight into Atkins, though, and Blackburn Rovers trailing by 2-0 with 20 minutes left, looking to try and cross the halfway line. Duxbury and Moran, those 2 former Manchester United players, combining at the back, and now with David May. Now he decides to leave it to Scott Sellers, playing only his second game of the season. Sellers, poor ball though for Stapleton, and Liverpool win it back again. Hussein, 5 yards from the halfway line, right-footed ball for Staunton on the edge of the centre circle. Liverpool combining well in the midfield now without Houghton, who's injured, and McMahon, who's been sent off. Staunton working feverishly for them. In the end, though, it spins Blackburn Rovers' way, and Scott Sellers carries the ball into the Liverpool half. Goes round the challenge from Ian Rush. He's 30 yards from Grobbelaar's goal. This is a good run here from Sellers. Sellers shot, and it's just wide, and it was coming in as well. And Grobbelaar in the end, scrambling across, didn't make contact. It was only a couple of yards wide of his left-hand post, but that was a great little run there from Scott Sellers. And now we're going to have a change. Blackburn Rovers are going to make a substitution. Duxbury, I think, number 3 is going to come off, and Don Mackay sends on one of his young strikers, Lenny John Rose. Dennis.
Well, Sellers that was a lovely move, and he is an exceptionally good player as well, and considering it's only his second game of the season, he had a marvellous run there, must have run something like 40 yards. It was a nice shot, probably with his weaker foot, his right foot, but still an opportunity for Blackburn.
So John Rose comes on, and he has 19 minutes to make an impression here. 19 minutes to pull a couple of goals back for Rovers, trailing here by 2-0 against Liverpool. It's been like that since the 23rd minute, since the second goal from Ian Rush, as Liverpool win a free kick over on the far side. Rosenthal fouled by Kevin Moran. But in the second half, with the wind behind them, Blackburn Rovers have had a much better time of it, and Liverpool have been reduced to 10 men because, as you probably heard, Steve McMahon's been sent off for 2 bookable offences. Liverpool's free kick is short, and Barnes now sprints forward. Scott Sellers is coming in to try and make the tackle. He does so. Kevin Moran has to clear and hits that over to the far side of the field, where Gillespie gets in very quickly against Garner, who's made no sort of an impression at all. Molby curls the ball now into the Blackburn Rovers penalty area, easily spotted though by Bobby Mims, comes almost to the edge of the area and then waits for everyone to push downfield before clearing. Mims's kick down the centre, Stapleton trying to get that one onto his head. He can only head it back inside his own half, and there are once again the boos for Howard Gale, the man who was fouled by McMahon, and that led to McMahon's dismissal. Rovers keep the ball at the back, and there's a first touch now for John Rose. John Rose is fouled by Nicol, and that's a free kick to Blackburn Rovers, 4 or 5 yards in from the near touchline, and some 15 yards or so inside the Liverpool half. Atkins, the left back, with Sellers. John Rose carries the ball across to the corner flag. Staunton goes in, and that's a throw-in. Very close to the corner flag. The linesman was there making the signal that it's a throw. Blackburn appeal for the corner, and they're going to wait now. This is interesting. David May to take the throw-in, and Blackburn scored their goal on Saturday following a long throw from the centre-half, David May. Howard Gale makes a little run towards the near post. May at full stretch can only throw it onto Staunton's head. Wins it back again, and now May has a chance to cross with his right foot, headed away by Hussein. Good clearance there by Sweden's Glenn Hussein. The ball bounces awkwardly in midfield for Miller. Liverpool appeal for handball, at least the supporters did, but it comes back again to Rovers inside their own half, and Sellers, no way forward for him, gives it back to Moran and then receives it back again. Scott Sellers in the deep for Blackburn. Left-footed, precise ball, but straight onto Hussein's head. Nicol now comes in, and that was called from Nicol from 30 yards. Straight back to Bruce Grobbelaar in that penalty area. 29 minutes gone then in the second half. Liverpool 2, Blackburn 0. Grobbelaar's kick into the Blackburn half. David May's all on his own, well, apart from the rubbish down there around him as well. And Blackburn tidy up at the back, and there's another chance for May. Nothing too ambitious, but Blackburn have to really steam forward now to get these goals back, to take this game into extra time. They trail 2-0. Fourth round winners, of course, at home to Brighton. And Blackburn building up nicely down that far side until Ablett comes in well, the Liverpool substitute. Finds Rosenthal. Early layoff by Rosenthal to Staunton. Staunton with a cross shot, left-footed, wide of Mims' target in the end, but it eats up more time.
Yes, and of course Blackburn have taken an extra forward on, and that's what they've got to do. And as you say, Mike, they've got to throw they've got to get as many people forward as they can, get the ball up to the front men, try and get into the Liverpool penalty, trying to get a goal so they sort of get him back in the game. And by doing so, and we've seen it so many times, it nearly happened now, sometimes it does break down, and they do leave themselves with very few defenders at the back, and therefore Liverpool could get that third goal. But they've got to forget about that. They've got to push people forward.
There are 15 minutes left on this windswept Tuesday night here at Anfield. The only FA Cup replay to survive the weather. Blackburn are 2 down, and Scott Sellers is tumbled over just down below us. And a Liverpool player too has gone down injured, but the first offence was definitely on Scott Sellers. Blackburn Rovers have got the free kick. First of all, though, Roy Evans comes on to administer some treatment for somebody that I cannot see from here, so we'll have to look at who's actually standing up to try and deduce who it is. Anyway, it's going to be a free kick to Blackburn in just a few moments. This is almost exactly halfway inside the Liverpool half. Down this near side, the left-hand side, Atkins and Sellers are both over the ball. I can see Ronnie Rosenthal, so it's Glenn Hussein. Glenn Hussein, the Liverpool captain, who's injured. And this is another chance for me to remind you that Glenn Hussein was sent off on Saturday. Steve McMahon has been sent off tonight. And one has to wonder, from an England point of view, how that's going to affect things with Gascoigne sent off lately, of course. Tony Adams, another England player, was sent off before Christmas. And the policy these days, of course, is not to pick players who are sent off. And the free kick is taken in the end by Sellers, and it comes out to this near side for Liverpool. Well, let me just clarify that. It's not exactly the policy not to pick players, but they don't exactly take a good view of players who fall foul of the law on the field of play. And McMahon has been sent off for 2 bookable offences. and the ball is back inside the Blackburn Rovers penalty area with Bobby Mims. Dennis, nothing to say?
Well, I was just contemplating there's that many players sent off. I was just wondering who would be probably playing in the future.
Well, the thing is also, Hussein and McMahon are supposed to be going with the Football League team as well to Italy next week, but I'm sure that they'll be clear to do that. But in the meantime, the game continues with Blackburn desperately trying to get the ball, and there was a little bit of time wasting there, I think, by Liverpool. They had a throw into Blackburn. Liverpool was slow to release it. Nicky Reid went chasing. Eventually they got it back, and Howard Gale's taken the throw, and Kevin Moran shown too much of it to Rosenthal. Rosenthal instinctively just whacked that ball into the Blackburn half, too far in front of Staunton, but it meant that David May had to chase rather a long way, and Blackburn try again, but they're trailing 2-0 with only 13 minutes to go. First half goals from Houghton and then a super strike from Rush after 23 minutes. Blackburn with Sellers working harder than anybody, coming forward and fouled by Staunton. Down on his knees, appeals to Michael Peck, the man who sent off Hussein and Moran on Saturday and who sent off Steve McMahon tonight. Free kick to Blackburn. And the noise you can hear now from Anfield is the noise from Ewood Park, all of those Blackburn fans behind Bruce Grobbelaar's goal. But before the free kick is taken, the linesman has come 5 yards inside the playing area to talk to the referee, and the referee comes towards the near side to speak to one of the dugouts down there, and somebody obviously said something that the linesman heard. Impossible to see who the referee addressed down there, so we won't even try and guess. And the game continues with Mark Atkins booming in a free kick, and that's gone wide of Grobbelaar's left-hand post. Well, it's all happening, and it's going to be a goal kick for Grobbelaar to take. We've got 11 minutes or so to go, little more than that, and it's Liverpool 2, Blackburn Rovers 0.
You've got to be very careful nowadays what you say to the officials, and obviously somebody in the dugout had said something to the linesman. I think it was over the foul by Staunton on Sellers there that maybe he said he shouldn't have been, but you've got to be very careful. Keep out of that.
It's with Atkins. Poor old Atkins chips the ball into the Liverpool half. Centre circle now for Sellers and Miller. And Sellers tried to find Moran, but he made him chase back 5 yards. Now Moran's got it. Knocks it forward. A little glance from Stapleton. And that's gone into the area where Grobbelaar's come out, and he's decided to play right back, and he tucks that away for throw-in. Close to the corner flag, quickly taken by John Rose. Finds Atkins. Atkins and Sellers on the edge of the area. Atkins goes down, looks at the referee, and Michael Peck blows his whistle but points the other way. He's given it to Liverpool. That's a free kick, and the referee now is also going to call over, I think, one of the Blackburn players. Miller, number 8, and Stapleton's also there. He tells Stapleton though to get away, and John Miller has words with Michael Peck, or rather the other way round. No sign of yes, now a yellow card for John Miller. A little bit of feeling. How much of this is down to the fact that they had that dramatic game on Saturday, and within a couple of days they're meeting again? How much of a follow-on do you get sometimes, Dennis?
Well, sometimes you do get it. I think that the fact tonight that they're trailing 2-0 and they're sort of desperate to try and get back into the game. A few of the decisions by the referee has not gone for them, but Miller was rightly booked there because he did go for nickel, and the referee was right in booking him.
Well, now Liverpool have proceeded down the line, near side, and Staunton tucks it back to Rush. Rosenthal laid that off very quickly. Rush was in an advanced position. Liverpool's Nicol again challenging with Miller in midfield. The whistle's gone this time, and Nicol has been penalised for the foul on Miller. Miller gets to his feet. Serious business still to do here for Blackburn. 10 minutes to go. They need a couple of goals. Trailing 2-0. Free kick quickly taken. Moran in possession. Into the Liverpool half. It's switched to Howard Gale down the right. Gale goes completely through Jan Molby, and now inside John Barnes, but Miller has to help him out. And back sweep Blackburn Rovers again. Sellers didn't get the touch right, but now and he doesn't get the pass right either. Hits that 2 or 3 yards behind Mark Atkins, and that's going to be a throw into Liverpool just short of the halfway line. Just to repeat, Ray Houghton 15 minutes, Ian Rush 23 minutes. Goals for Liverpool, but then after 54 minutes, Steve McMahon sent off. He was booked in the first half, and then when he brought Howard Gale down over on that far side, he was sent off, and Liverpool down to 10 men, but really you would hardly notice that fact. And Liverpool enter the Blackburn Rovers half to take a throw-in, and Nicol takes it. He's helped out by Molby. back again to Nicol, tight to the line, all left foot from him, and then back inside his own half, knowing that Gillespie was available. Gillespie makes about 5 yards and then spots Barnes, and Barnes immediately transfers it to Ablett. This is a good build-up from Liverpool. Barnes again back to Ablett. Rosenthal is lurking on the edge of the area, but Liverpool more concerned about keeping the ball. Now Gillespie comes into the Blackburn half for about the first time, plays the ball forward. Staunton's onside. Can he square it for Rosenthal? Excellent tackle by May, but Staunton still comes in and makes it. Never say die from Steve Staunton, and even though David May half got it away for Blackburn Rovers, Steve Staunton, who featured so prominently in that exciting move, with John Barnes heavily involved as well, puts the tie firmly now beyond Blackburn Rovers. It's Liverpool 3, Blackburn 0. It'll be Liverpool at home to Brighton.
Apart from putting the game beyond Blackburn and a superb move, that really was a very, very brave goal by Steve Staunton, because he's been limping really for the last 10 minutes. He's obviously got a knock earlier on, and he's been limping for that, but he didn't hesitate. I saw him come about 40 yards for that goal. He wandered up and knocked the ball out, and then when it was in there, he had his shot, and then it came back to him and scored the third goal. Really a brave goal.
Well, he started this game at left back because of David Burrows' ill health, and now he's playing in midfield since Liverpool lost Houghton and McMahon from that area. Houghton injured, McMahon sent off, and now he's got a goal as well, Steve Staunton. 3-0 to Liverpool, and David May, the man who almost got it away for Blackburn, this time completely slices the clearance, and it's halfway inside his own half. Blackburn Rovers midfield players desperately trying to get a hold of it. Now Miller bustles through the centre circle, but hits it straight at Gillespie. But Blackburn's heads now must surely fall, because Liverpool are 6 minutes away from the end of the game. They lead 3-0, and they're going forward again. And can Rosenthal finish here? And it's into the side netting. As Bobby Mims came out, Rosenthal had to do it very quickly, and it was a tight angle for him, and he hits the side netting. Dennis?
Well, we were just Alan and I were just saying he hit it with his wrong foot, didn't he? When he came in there, he should have just pulled it back and sort of try and swerved it with his right foot, but his right foot is not that clever. His left foot is excellent.
It isn't going to matter, though, I don't think, now, with only 6 minutes left. Rosenthal, though, would have loved to have scored his first FA Cup goal. Had a good chance at Blackburn last Saturday with his left foot, but pulled that one wide after only a few minutes of the game. And now the ball is back again with Grobbelaar, who kicks towards the Kop. Atkins should be underneath this one, waiting for it to bounce 3 or 4 times, and then in the end settles for the throw-in and finds Sellers. Gets it back again. Mark Atkins, who really is going to go down in the FA Cup history books now, because that own goal will be decisive, I think, as Liverpool from Staunton find Barnes. Barnes juggles with it on his head. Mulby hit that one from 20 yards, and that spins well wide of the target in the end. And then Mulby immediately rushes back into that midfield area. It's been a terrific scrap out there tonight, with Miller and Reed trying to get hold of it for Blackburn Rovers. But Liverpool, as they always seem to do, have made it pay here in front of their own fans. Terrific crowd of well over 30,000 turning out here tonight on this nasty evening, and the ball is out of play again for Liverpool's throw-in. Very interestingly then, they look as if they will play Brighton in the 4th round, and of course it was here at Anfield in 1983 in the 5th round that Brighton won by 2-1 on the way to getting to Wembley, and Liverpool will be mindful of that. But now Rush goes through. Mims comes out of his goal and does enough. Smothers Rush and concedes the corner. Corner kick to Liverpool, who seem to have been lifted, if anything, by the sending off of Steve McMahon here. As Dennis and Alan were saying earlier, so very often happens when you are reduced to 10 men, you work even harder, and Liverpool's corner kick on this near side of the field is a short one. They're going to make a substitution in just a few moments, and now they do. Ronnie Rosenthal comes off, and there's a really good round of applause here for the young 18-year-old Steve McManaman, who comes on for, what have we got, 4 minutes. Young player, great things expected of him in the future. He's already played for the England under-21s, and he makes his way to the far post, and Liverpool have a corner. Staunton to take it, left-footed. Curly-haired McManaman in a line with Rush. Corner kick comes in, it's headed away and straight back again to Staunton. Takes it neatly, then flicks it to Barnes. Gets the return ball from Barnes. Not quite, though, because Gale was there, and that's going to be Blackburn's kick You've not seen, I don't suppose. I mean, I haven't, Dennis, Steve McManaman before, so you'll be looking forward to this.
No, McManaman. Yeah, no, I haven't seen him.
Looking forward to saying his name as well.
Yes, it's like being
McMahon's not out there actually.
It's like
Steve McManaman passes to Steve McMahon. We don't mean that.
It's like being abroad, isn't it?
Long clearance downfield by Blackburn Rovers, just trying to get a consolation goal now, I think. High clearance from Ablett, and that is going out of the ground. Yes, it is, over the Kenman Road stand, over on the far side.
Have you seen that before?
And that will take a while before it ever comes back.
Yeah.
That could end up in a raffle somewhere, I think, and it's going to be another ball. A substitute ball and a throw into Blackburn over on the far side of the field, but we only have 2.5 minutes to go. Howard Gale to take it. Still booing Gale. Back to May. Quickly played forward by May. Gillespie feints to go for it, but I don't think he ever was. He knew that Grobbelaar was behind him, but then Grobbelaar, well, what sort of a throw was that? I think he might have hit one of his players when he threw the ball out, and it came straight back to Blackburn Rovers, but I wonder whether they can make anything of it. Ball comes in from Nicky Reid, beautifully brought down by Stapleton. The shot from Sellers, and he's topped that one halfway back the Anfield Road stand as Grobbelaar screams at somebody.
Well, he's screaming at the referee because John Rose was
That's a very wise thing to do, isn't it?
No, but he was, and it was John Rose, I think, who sort of collided with Grobbelaar, but the referee didn't see it. He had his back to play, and he turned around and but he didn't know what was happening, so he had to let play go on.
So Grobbelaar clears, and McManaman gets his touch. Not much meat on him, he might get blown over down there. Very frail looking lad, but super skills, and number 14 McManaman's going forward now down the right hand side. Lovely work on the ball, and the foul from Atkins. McManaman sped forward there, making 20 yards very quickly right towards the edge of the area, and wins the free kick, and then immediately retreats because his job is to score goals, and he joins Ian Rush inside the area. And Barnes just has a passing word with Staunton. We only have a minute left here. Liverpool lead 3-0. Houghton, Rush and Staunton. Can they get a fourth here in front of the Kop? Staunton with his left foot crushed that one straight into the side netting, and a new and an R from the Kop, and that's a goal kick for Bobby Mims. Takes it short, and it's helped on by Atkins. Scott Sellers is getting bogged down a little bit there by Ian Rush, and that's a throw to Liverpool halfway inside the Blackburn Rovers half, and we only have 45 seconds left. Mentioned the fact that, of course, sorry.
I was just going to say, Mike, I was just wondering what the Kop was shouting there, and they are cruel, aren't they? They were shouting, Atkins, Atkins, give us a goal, which is really rubbing it in, isn't it?
Well, the reason we're here tonight, of course, is because of Atkins' misfortune on Saturday with that own goal, almost the last kick of the match. And Liverpool have certainly prospered from this return now this evening as Blackburn go forward again. Sellers' ball straight into Grobbelaar's tummy, and he will clear downfield. Mentioning the fact that Brighton are going to come here, and they won here in '83. They also follow that up the year later by beating Liverpool in the 4th round. So Liverpool certainly will have something to avenge when they play this game against Brighton. And we face 2 4th round games in this city, of course, because Everton will be playing Woking as well. There's no way both of those games, I don't think, will be played on the Saturday, the two grounds being so close together. So Everton against Woking coming up, and Liverpool against Brighton, and Liverpool playing out time now in the area. It's been a very accomplished performance again this evening by the champions. The one black mark, of course, or rather red mark, the sending off of Steve McMahon. But Liverpool have looked good in these conditions, so difficult, swirling around the wind, very difficult to play composed football, and Grobbelaar has it again, seen quite a bit of the action, and will clear downfield in injury time. Mekelpeck checks the wristwatch. Grobbelaar's kick, it's holding up as Kevin Moran tries to go in. Blackburn now, I would think, won't be too sorry to hear the final whistle, because they're out of the competition despite all their bravery at Ewood Park on Saturday. They took the champions just about as far as you can go, really stunning them, but Liverpool tonight have found their form. They lead 3-0, and Blackburn Rovers are way back inside their own half now, preparing to take another throw-in, deep in defence. Mark Atkins to take it. Frank Stapleton coming deep, looking for it. Hasn't been able to add to his 23 FA Cup goals, and he won't, because there's the final whistle here at Anfield. Liverpool, who played for much of this second half with only 10 men after Steve McMahon was sent off, but Liverpool had too much class on the night for Blackburn Rovers. They scored after 15 minutes to settle themselves down through Ray Houghton. A beautifully taken goal, that one. Ian Rush scored a typical Rush goal after 23 minutes, turning the defender and putting it high into the back of Min's goal. And as Blackburn Rovers at least sleep the supporters who came down the East Lancs Road tonight to see their team, one or two of the players are going across to say thank you. Blackburn had a much better second half than first half, but then Steve Staunton wrapped it up 7 minutes from time with Liverpool's third. Denis Law.
All you can say, Mike, is exactly that. Accomplished performance by Liverpool. They came out, they were given the opportunity by that equaliser last week at Blackburn. They came out and they strolled about, they knocked it about well, they created plenty of opportunities, scored two marvellous goals in the first half, came out the second half, and Blackburn came out with a bit better attitude, I felt, and thought, well, it'll be a better second half, and then McMahon got sent off. It didn't really make any difference to Liverpool's performance. Blackburn came into in a little flurry, but when you look at the whole 90 minutes, I can't remember an opening or a chance that they actually created. They didn't do it. They knocked the ball into the box at times, which was the thing to do in these conditions. And then, of course, Staunton's third goal wrapped it up. A lovely performance by Liverpool.
And it just underlines, we've mentioned his name so many times, but they are going to be talking, aren't they, in years to come about Mark Atkins and about that ghastly, grotesque moment for him now, last Saturday.
You can only feel it was so cruel, wasn't it? Because they'd done so well, and there was no danger when the ball came into the penalty area at Blackburn, and it seemed to hit him on the foot more than anything, and of course they just kicked off, and then they blew for time, and then you felt, well, that's Blackburn out of the cup, because to come here to Anfield is difficult enough, but with the tails up, there's not many teams will beat Liverpool.
Just some final thoughts then, Dennis. Blackburn obviously now have to concentrate on staying in the second division. Liverpool have got a couple of weeks in the league now, and they've had Hussein sent off and McMahon sent off. They're obviously going to be without those players for some games too. That can't be good news for them.
Yes, I'm sure it's a long time since Liverpool had that many players sent off in such a short time, and of course they can't, they've got injury problems as well, but Liverpool have always said the season it's a marathon, isn't it? And they've got so many players in reserve that come through and don't seem to make any difference. But yes, they will miss them. Blackburn, on the other hand, if they could play like they played last Saturday in the second division, then they will rise out, because they're not a bad side.
Dennis, thank you very much. Sorry about the coat. I'll sort that out with you later on. Liverpool 3, Blackburn Rovers 0. So if you've got your money on Liverpool to win the FA Cup this season, well, it's still safe. Liverpool deserve winners here on a very tricky night with those goals from Houghton, Rush and late on Staunton. But I suppose the headline tomorrow will be the sending off of Steve McMahon. Good night from us all here.
And good night to Mike Ingham, Denis Law and Alan Green, our team at Anfield this evening. The odds before tonight's game: Liverpool 5-1 joint favourites for the Cup. Blackburn were 200-1. Once again, the bookies seem to have got it about right. Liverpool 3, Blackburn Rovers 0.
You really do only get one chance against Liverpool. Blackburn cruelly lost theirs in injury time on Saturday, and that own goal effectively put them out of the Cup, because here tonight at a windswept Anfield, from the moment Ray Houghton stylishly crafted Liverpool into a 15th minute lead, there was only going to be one winner. The Cup favourites not only navigated their way through storm conditions, they also held the upper hand for the last 35 minutes, despite being reduced to 10 men. Referee Michael Peck, who sent off Kevin Moran and Glenn Hussein on Saturday, sent off England's Steve McMahon after two bookable offences. He'd received the yellow card for a first-half skirmish with Miller, and yellow changed to red after he brought down Howard Gale. But by then, Liverpool had had a two-goal cushion. Ian Rush's 16th strike of the season in the 23rd minute was vintage stuff, and the hard-working Steve Staunton deserved to complete the scoring near the end to give Brighton and Hove Albion plenty to think about.